I was just thinking while eating dinner that, I had this song that I made up. I'm not going to say I wrote because that's a misuse of language. I didn't write any song the way composers would write music. And a lot of people these days say they wrote this, they did nothing of the kind. It's a misuse of language. You didn't write a song unless you wrote the music out the way traditional composers write music. If you didn't do that, you did not write a song the way we think of the word write when we're talking about music, okay? So there's all kinds of misuse of language these days, like we heard about was going to happen in dystopian novels we read back in the 60s. We were headed for this kind of thing. It's called, I think, doublespeak, okay? So, I made up a song, and in that song, I was saying that this absolutely evil character I'm talking about in the song, who tried to kill me, the narrator of the song, that this evil creature kept the narrator asleep with shots. And suddenly I'm starting to think to myself, well, I'm thinking that the man of the year, America's man of the year, to perform his rapes on me, I've been thinking that he used exclusively ether, but suddenly I said, why did I make up words for my song that included shots that kept the narrator asleep? I think the words were, at night his shots kept me asleep, he rode me like a horse, okay? Well, since I saw America's Man of the Year applying ether to my hamster, to put the hamster to sleep for a scientific experiment we were conducting, that was his idea. He was like just dabbing the ether cloth or gauze by the hamster's nose, tiny bit, okay? So actually, to do what he needed to do to me, okay, what he may have done is dabbed me a little, okay, to make sure I would not wake up, and then given me a shot, okay, of something. I don't know anything about such matters. Zero. However, I did say in my song, at night his shots kept me asleep. And I'm wondering why I said that. And I might have had a good reason, because, a lot of times the unconscious mind does express itself this way. It says things and they're true, and we say, we don't get it. At least in my life, I've noticed. I often say or do things that I don't understand, and later I say, wait a minute, that I said or did this because of this or that reason. And now it makes sense. I come to these understandings, here's the way I say this, when it's safe for me to do that. So I must feel safe enough to say that America's Man of the Year may not have kept me asleep exclusively with ether. Now, why would that have been? Maybe the ether was watched where he was taking it from. I wouldn't know, but he might have had a reason. So, he could have administered a shot to me and would have kept me asleep. I don't know anything about anesthesia. Zero. Well, I just wanted to say that those thoughts were occurring to me. Now, at the same time, I'm thinking about a lot of other things, but I'm gonna hold on those thoughts and get to them later. That's all from me for now. Bye for now. Take this quick footnote. Now, really, what I kind of wanted to say was, but I didn't have a way to say it. and this is not the footnote, what I'm going to say now. This is something I was going to say in place of the recording I just made. I wanted to say that I'm going to say 100%. I'm going to Joe Namath this. 100% I was radiation poisoned in 1982. With that shot given me into mental prison over there at the intersection of East-West Highway and Route 1, which is a hospital, so-called in your world out there, not you, Sayaka, but everybody else. You all call a hospital. That place has been closed down since the 1990s. Great place, huh? It got closed down. How come? So good and it got closed down. And what happened to me there? I got radiation poisoned. That's how great a place that was. So, you know, for years, I've tried to find some metaphor to describe the excruciating pain I was in from that shot given to me. Nobody believed to this very minute. Nobody believes this. Anyway, over the years, at times I was saying to myself and looking for a metaphor, a way to describe the pain. I was saying it was kind of like nausea. You know how nausea, for me, I don't know what it's like for other people. I've read nothing about this, and I've talked to no one about it. To me, nausea is like a full body experience. From the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. It's a whole body experience. The entire body is nauseous and it's awful. Now, I rarely get nauseous. Very rarely. Almost never. Okay. Okay, I got to watch my enemies here, you know. They have been stirring me and my wife up to a froth of agitation, right? So if I show the least irritability in anything that's happening, that's somehow against me, right? But we're going to find you who've been harassing us. You're Americans in the American Secret Police. 100%! We will find you one way or another, internationally if need be, and you're going to be brought to justice. There's my pledge on that. Now, I don't want to forget what I was saying. I was saying to myself that at times I was saying the pain I was in was far worse than nausea, okay? But I was looking for a way to describe it. So I'm going to say here, my wife bought me a vitamin D. I don't particularly care to take it, but okay, my wife is moving around. She's deaf. She has no idea what I'm talking about. So, I'm irritable. I'm showing that I'm severely disturbed mentally, right? Let me put you under 10 years of what you put me and my wife under. She's coming to me every 15 minutes, crying to me about the abuses she's suffering from you. You're doing this to her. You're Americans in the American Secret Police, 100%. So I'm the bad guy here, huh? Well, I'm the bad guy here while I'm in the United States. When I get out of here to somebody I can trust, we'll see how we turn this around on you, okay? Now, peacefully by the law. I don't break the law like you. I follow the law. You don't find me breaking the law. You don't raise your voice in America, right? It disturbs the boss. Boss doesn't want to hear noise. You don't like that, right? Okay, so let me think. I got to try to get back on track here. I was thinking to myself recently, like today, I was saying, if you took, and I had this thought like a week or two ago. Let's say you took nausea from radiation poisoning. Let's say that, from what I've read, exposure to radiation, okay, it's going to cause nausea, okay? It causes nausea. But when it's injected the way it was, it causes nausea to the nth degree, meaning speeded up nausea so bad it's unrecognizable as nausea, and worse, so that you have the pain that I experienced. It's no longer nausea. It's like past that threshold. It's so severe that it's what I'm saying it is. But you might say it's a form of nausea to the nth degree. That's the best I can say. And so that way I can say I was radiation poisoned. And I'm going to say I was 100%. Now, that should make me buddies with the Japanese. But I don't see any so-called help coming from those folks. None at all. So I don't like that. I don't like that. And let's just say my Hebrew name is Gideon. And what happens in the story of Gideon? He does ask for help. And what happens to the folks who do not help him after he's successful in defeating his enemy? Well, go read the story, and you'll find out what he did to the betrayers there who didn't help him when he asked for the help. Okay? I'm going to do that. I have the name Gideon, but I am not Gideon. Okay? I'm very well aware of that. Okay? So, so there. Now, let's say that somehow the Lord would like to play the part of Gideon in this mess, and he might visit an analogy for what Gideon visited on his enemies. He might visit those analogies on my enemies, on my behalf. That's something I'm going to do. Obviously, I can't do those kind of things, but Adonai, he can do anything, right? We're talking about the Lord. So, my trust is in the Lord. Now, let me try to give the footnote that I wanted to give to the recording I just made that really I didn't want to make. I wanted to make the recording I just made in the footnote that I've been trying to articulate here for however many minutes it's been. I had a footnote to what I was saying about, I might have gotten shots. Okay, here it is. I'm saying that, first of all, let me finish up the other discussion. Let me add a little more. If I was radiation poisoned, I would say, from what I know of these matters, that the half-life of one or another element should still be in my body that shouldn't be. Unless these folks were so knowledgeable about this thing that they figured everything out beforehand about how to do this so it would be undetectable. But if, some half-life of an element is still breaking down from that shot I was given, it should be findable in my body. Now I'm going to get to the footnote that I wanted to make. I've read that ether passes out of the body like, 15 minutes from when you're exposed to it. You pee it out, and whatever else, other ways, it comes out. And it's after that, 15 minutes, a half hour later, it's undetectable in your body. Now, if America's Man of the Year did not just use ether, but gave me shots of some kind, of some other drug, maybe there are traces of that in my body that should be there. You didn't think of that, maybe. Well, I'm going to get people to look. Well, you never know. The Man of the Year, America's Man of the Year, he took great joy in telling me about Napoleon. I think this idea that Napoleon might have been arsenic poisoned a little at a time while he was in prison after he lost at the Battle of Battle of Waterloo, right? And he was imprisoned, and some think he was poisoned with arsenic because they dug up his body and they saw it hadn't decayed. And one of the things that arsenic does is it preserves the body. So it is either how did this happen? So the idea that he might have been arsenic poison came up, but then somehow I was looking online years later, and I think I saw somewhere that no, this idea that Napoleon was arsenic poison has been disproved. Well, I don't know, but anyway, there's where a body was dug up, and ideas of poisoning and how it might have happened came up. Now, if a lot of the things I've been saying turn out to be true, somebody may want to unearth my body after I'm dead to check these things out. So if nobody's going to check them out now, no doctor will look into a single thing I say. And I'm afraid to go to any doctor in the United States and almost worldwide now, because the American secret police, they have a hold anywhere. Well, I've been to Italy, they were there. As far as I can tell, now, I'm going to go to court and swear to these things. I'm going to go to court at all and make accusations. No. Let's just say these are suspicions. Okay? We have freedom of speech. I'm not saying that these folks are guilty. I'm saying I suspect them of being guilty. Okay? That should be permissible. And there's a big case against them going in the corruption and the evils they've been involved in that have gotten their director fired, their interim director, if that what he was called, fired, and lots of problems with them. So I'm not alone in suspecting them, and well, that's all I need to say. Let me stop here. Today is, as I said before, but let me say it again. As Northrop Frye said, he wouldn't respect a man who didn't repeat himself. So I have another phone. I actually have 5 phones to fight with these folks. It's May 25th, a Monday, 7:31 p.m. Bye for now.